Thank you so much, Floyd, and thank you everybody who's spoken so far. This has been incredible, and I feel very honored and privileged to be here with this group of experts and economists. I joke around, but when I was in university, I failed Economics 101, yet here I am with some of the most prominent people in the country talking about very, very important and life-changing economic issues. So I feel very honored to be here. And the reason that I am here is that I actually have a lived experience. I was on the Ontario Basic Income Pilot, and so I received a basic income. At the time, before I received a basic income, I had 4 jobs, and they were all very low wage, gig work, contract jobs with no protections, no rights whatsoever. And it was just a very stressful and exhausting existence. And I was working all of these jobs in an effort to try and build my business as a photographer. And I really struggled to do so because Floyd and Benjamin Tell said in that video, just about the idea of innovation and being able to take risks and being able to have the ability to take that risk. It costs money. Every single business costs money, and people don't think about the cost in time that it takes. So I take that time, I invest in my business, but maybe I'm not making any money right away, and I still need to pay for my food and pay for rent and you know, all the other things that people need to pay for. So I was just finding it was impossible. But then when I was on basic income, I had that time and I had that ability to take that risk. And when I took that risk, I found that my business grew, and I found that I had more time to put in that business, and that I was booking projects and booking photo shoots. I was marketing myself. Everything was growing. I actually started developing a very robust business plan for a very great idea. And then and when I projected and did all my financial projections, I actually predicted that the Ontario Basic Income Pilot that was supposed to be 3 years long, I would have been off the pilot 2 years in, because I would have been making enough money off of my business that I wouldn't have needed a basic income anymore. Obviously, that didn't happen because the government, there was a newly elected Conservative government that, despite making an election promise to keep the basic income pilot, they actually broke that promise and canceled the basic income pilot very, very abruptly, with no reason that had any basis in quantifiable evidence or fact. I was furious. Hell hath no fury, like a photographer scorned, I suppose. So I determined, I made the very, very heartbreaking decision to put my business on the shelf, because I realized I could not do this anymore. And I went off to protest the government's cancellation of basic income. And how I did that is that I wanted to hear stories. And I wanted to thank Brett for saying that my stories have had impact. I really appreciate it. So what I had done was that I went around to find as many basic income recipients as I could. I asked them a simple question. I asked, what were you using basic income for? I gave them a piece of cardboard and a Crayola marker. It felt very juvenile and odd, but those are the materials I had. And people wrote their stories on their sign and held them up for me, and I took their portraits. My goal was to get 50 portraits of basic income recipients. I was able to get 70 portraits. And just for you right now, I'm going to share a few of these portraits and see like the real life application of how a basic income positively impacts businesses, positively creates growth, and positively impacts the economy. So if everybody can see that there. UBI, among many other benefits, has provided me with a chance to get to work. She lives in Hamilton and then she commutes to Toronto. So basic income enabled her to pay for her commute. She was able to look for more work in Toronto and able to develop her business. Grateful. UBI has made it possible to afford a means of transportation, to eat, and to be able to study as a full-time student. Currently, I have 30 hours a week of unpaid placement. I'm a student and trying to work part-time around that schedule. Before UBI, I couldn't afford to travel to school, placement, or work, and there is no public transportation in my area. UBI has alleviated stress from my busy life. Please save universal basic income. So this kind of investment enabled her to be able to pursue her education and pursue her placement, which will ultimately lead to a better job and better economic input and returns for her. Like I said, I failed economics 101, but I understand this. Basic income has allowed me to support charities in Ontario that are special to me. I've been able to support Ontario farmers by purchasing their products. I've been able to eat more healthy with the extra income. I've been able to, for the first time, save money for my future. You've taken my security and future away. And I like this picture in particular because she's specifically saying that she's supporting charities in Ontario and she's supporting Ontario farmers. So her basic income, this investment by the government, is going directly to impacting local people right on the grassroots level. I bought a car and I was going to learn how to drive at the age of 60. That would have given me the freedom to spend quality time with my family. I bought a gym membership, locked in for 1 year. She's supporting local markets and eating better. She references a grocery store called the Mustard Seed, which is a co-op grocery store in Hamilton, Ontario. I can buy my granddaughters meaningful gifts. I can take better care of my overall well-being. And she was also frustrated because there was no indication of any sort of reason or backup plan or any sort of remedy or solution to canceling the basic income when it happened. But you see that just that basic income made her make significant purchases that affected positive business and local economy. This is Louis and Lana. They are standing here in the shop that they used basic income to build. This is their business. It's called Fresh Fuel. It's in downtown Lindsay, Ontario. Basic income help us further develop our business by easing the financial stress of bills at home and raising 4 young children. They have 4 kids and they're able to use basic income to develop a business that has had a beautiful and positive impact on the economy in Lindsay, has had an impact on their life. Their business has won awards. I've been to their business. Their food is really, really good. And I highly recommend it if you're in Lindsay. But you see that there are tangible stories. We've talked a lot about numbers and a lot of the statistics, which is very, very important. And I don't in any way want to diminish the importance of that. But then we see the practical application of it and the practical application of how these people, and myself included, used a basic income, not to just sit around on our ass playing video games all day, but we built businesses, we went to school, we invested in the local economy around us, and everything improved as a whole as a society. And that's why I believe in basic income. And that's why I've really changed my life to fight for this. That's why I made the heartbreaking decision to put my business on the shelf so I could fight for basic income, because I believe in this and believe that when we do this, this benefits all of us as a society, and everybody benefits. And I'm very excited about this report. I'm very honored to be here and speak to this and be able to speak to the real life stories of this. Because I know it works. It's worked in my life. So thank you again. And thank you for this really great opportunity.